Yes, these questions are rhetorical, and yes, I'm answering them anyway, because I think we can all be a little bit more curious. Recently, while scrolling Twitter, I came across a few posts and I was like, that's interesting. And now here we are making a video, and we are going to dive into these questions presented. This first post here asks the question, why don't we see many Native American restaurants? And the short answer is, because there aren't many of them. But I think the more important question is, why aren't there many of them? And that actually stems from the fact that many Native American communities and their food relies on the resources around them. They cook based off of the fishes in their rivers. They make things based off of the plants that grow native on their land. And those can all be very localized plants, animals, and species, which means that it would be harder to market or grow these restaurant chains because you can't really take like a very subset of like fish in one specific river and then either ship that easily across the world, or there's just not enough of that fish species to sustain that. Then also in terms of marketing, there are a lot of Native American tribes and their food varies greatly between them. So there can't really be a Native American restaurant chain or, bigger group because it's dependent on the communities, not only for the food that they have available, but then also the different types of things that they make. If you go into a Japanese restaurant, no matter where you are in the world, you know approximately the type of food you're gonna get. But for a Native American restaurant, the menus could be completely different from California to New York. In addition, a lot of Native American foods have just been adopted into other cultures. For example, some foods that started off as Native American staples are popcorn, beef jerky, gumbo, Sasquatch, tamales, clam bakes, wild rice, baked beans, cornbread. Like all of those were Native American dishes, but then just kind of got either absorbed into other cultures or kind of already existed there or got colonized. So a lot of Native American foods we already have access to or we already know about and eat, and they're on menus elsewhere. It's just not really marketed as Native American cuisine. But since I'm sure that this user was posting this as a genuine, kind-hearted question because they just wanted to experience Native American culture more, I'm going to put some links down in the description to where you can find some local Native American restaurants. The second post I saw that I wanted to address asked the question, what is loitering? And now I cannot find the specifics of where this user was located, but I'm assuming they are in America. So I'm basing all of this on American law. Now, a broad legal definition of loitering is being in a public place with no reason to be there, lingering with the intention of doing suspicious activity. Essentially, it gives businesses the right to kick people off of their property or out of the front of their property if they don't want them there or if they're harming business. And in some states, it also gives police the right to patrol public spaces and kick people out if they are doing suspicious acts. So if you're just standing at a corner or waiting for a bus, or if you have some reason to be where you are, you're not loitering. However, I more so want to take the time while we're talking about loitering to talk about how it fits into ugly laws. The term ugly law is used to describe laws that focus on kicking ugly or disabled people out of public spaces. They were very common, or more so just explicit, in the 1800s and 1900s. These laws were in place to make spaces cleaner or more pleasant to view by getting rid of poor and disabled people. These laws would say things like any person who is diseased, maimed, mutilated, or deformed in any way so as to be unsightly or disgusting object to expose him or herself to public view. Most of these laws would just come as a fine, as does loitering. These practices are still very common and used to clear the streets of New Orleans for the Super Bowl, or to allow businesses to kick homeless people off of the street sidewalk because they don't want that to ruin the outside facade of their building. Loitering does make sense in the way that businesses being able to control who is on or around their property, especially for long periods of time, that's reasonable. And in these laws, it says that, it mostly applies to people doing drug deals or stuff like that. But they can also be applied to people sleeping on park benches. And when you're homeless, there's kind of nowhere else for you to go. I honestly don't have very profound commentary on, the connection between ugly laws and loitering. I just think it's interesting how things are phrased and how they are applied. And especially, I know as a kid, I was like, oh my God, I'm so scared I'm gonna be loitering. But it's it more so is so, but the law is more so in place to control minority groups and alter the way the public looks. yeah, I really don't have much to say on it. I just think it's kind of interesting, the connections, and I wanted to take the time to talk about ugly laws. If you're more interested in learning about them, I will put some more like concrete research about them and more of their history in the description too. Anyway, those will be the questions that I am answering in today's video. If you have any questions of your own that have been lingering in the back of your mind, but you don't really want to research, or if you see any on social media of other people asking questions, rhetorical or not, make sure to either put them in the comments or, you know, tag or send me to them on my socials. I'm at Haley's Forest on everything, so make sure to send them to me. I'm looking forward to reading them, and I always love learning and researching topics, so I'm hoping to make more videos like this in the future. But the next video I make is actually going to be talking about the history of alcohol, which I'm very excited to make. So make sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications if you want to know when that comes out. But with that, I will see you in the next one.